And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show. And this is going to be episode 391. So I hope you guys had a great day and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, I am going to be having a conversation with John's Longbox once again. And this is going to be his 5th appearance on the show, which means you are the second person due to have 5 appearances on this show, including actually being on panel shows as well. Mugen Lord, I think, hit it first, and you're the second person. So people can't say I'm racist. A black man hit the milestone first.
You can say it, but it has no power anymore.
Yep. And also,
the year racism died because nobody gives a shit anymore.
Yeah. Also, before we go on with our conversation, I just want to say, happy holidays to everyone. I don't celebrate holidays. I don't really have a family like that. I don't really care. No. Most of my family is gone. I'm like Wolverine. I ain't got no family. Right. I'm the best there is at what I do and what I do. Oh my God. If I hear that line one more time for someone to say Wolverine, I'm going to fight someone. But no, holiday season starting from Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's. Hopefully you guys are all out there, hope you guys had a great holiday season this year in 2025. It's a lot of holidays, and I know it's a lot of money, and this is what you learn with holidays. Don't overspend. Only buy things on sale, because a lot of people don't actually get this still to this day, and I've grown up with a lot of holidays. Everything always goes back to its original price in January, right when the first happens, and everyone goes, I ain't got no money. Well, yeah, you overspent. Don't overspend. If you know you're overspending on holidays and you're getting less money, you just don't do it. There's some years where just tell the kids, hey, you're only going to get 1 or 2 things. They'll be happy with that. I remember there was being some years where my mom only said, you're only getting 1 or 2 things. We're cool with that. But people be buying their kids like so much shit. There's a reason why they don't value Christmas anymore. Right. If you're going to give them everything, why would they have any reason in their brain to think they don't deserve it? Also, if you gave them everything, what else would you do to be able to surprise them? Like every year you would have to up the ante. Okay, so one year I get him a PS5. Let's say he's like 8, 9 years old. You get him a PS5. The next year you get him an Xbox Series X. It's like, what's the next thing next year? A PC? It's like in their mind, they think you're going to constantly one up that gift that you gave them.
That's why I was never nice to any of my girlfriends, because they started to expect nice treatment.
I was never nice to my girlfriends because they're just morons, but I see your point too. Dude, there was a tweet. Those captions that go like this with the sword. It's that one movie, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs or something like that. It was an animated movie with Zachary Levi. It's that meme where the guy goes like this and all the swords are next to him up to his neck. It said, what opinion would have you like this? Yeah. So I would say for you, we'll do that. What opinion would have people like this for you? All the swords are up to your neck.
In what, comics? In
life, comics, anything.
In life, the first thing that pops to my mind is, call me racist all you want. It doesn't matter. It's never mattered. Diversity is not our strength, and no culture ever existed. Unless no culture ever succeeded unless it was a monoculture. Mm-hmm. Once the Roman Empire, once they started fracturing off into different sections and different cultures, it fell apart. So there you go.
Mine has always been, it's okay to tell men like it is, but it's never been okay to tell women like it is. Actually, I'll even further expand in that pet peeve. Women egos are more fragile than men egos are. If I called you fat, you would go, you would laugh and go, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? He's fucking stupid. Call a woman fat.
I would say you have good eyesight.
Call a black woman fat, and let's just see the reaction.
I could fight, but I just don't want to hear it.
Goodness gracious. I always found it funny that women have always said men's egos are fragile, and then any level of criticism you give them, their entire world melts down. I think it's because of media too. Like most guys are portrayed in media like bumbling idiots when we know that's not that way in real life. But to be fair, that's why it's called TV and movies. It's not real. But I don't even, I'm a sucker for like Cinderella stuff. I think it's fine if a guy were to fight for a girl, but that girl has to be worth it. That has to be the soulmate you're working for. That has to be the ultimate girl that'll be by your side.
Right. Like I just today I saw on Twitter that Idris Elba, an actor that I like, I think yeah, that he got knighted, and all I could think of is who gives a shit. Like, did he kill a dragon? Did he fight the Mongols? Did he repel the Muslim hordes? No, he made some crappy movies, and now he's a knight. And he was knighted by this pedophile king that's being blackmailed by the Rothschilds and to letting all the Muslims into his country. That's my theory about King Charles.
Good Lord. So I just think most of the time in like you're growing up, you have that word you just said a second ago when people call you racist. Whenever people call me racist, back in the day when I was a bit younger and I didn't know how to control my emotions very well, I go like, how dare you call me that? I'm not that. But then I really took to heart that one saying that we used to have growing up. It's not about your words, it's about your actions. If you show people you're not that way, doesn't matter what someone says to you. That's the best saying I think.
I also, and I fail at this, and I'm trying to do better. Once you're defending yourself, you're already lost.
Yeah, because your actions should already speak for it in general. Like someone should already know from interacting with you.
I'm already seeing the comments over here, like the CG guys. He's broke. He's broke. And then I explained what I actually said, and it doesn't matter.
I told the guy that video was deceptively edited to make you look.
No kidding.
And he said,
but then I'm owning it. I'm like, okay, so I broke my neck and I'm broke and I'm still delivering comics on time. So you're making me out to be a superhero.
I told that same guy you're mentioning, hey, dude, even let's just use CG for example here. Let's just have a last little bit of fun here.
Oh, I know. I just want to say hello to my favorite poster, your boy Zach Matters.
Garfield, what's up, buddy? Hey, John, yo, MSK.
From the Party Clowns. Hey, Apex, how you doing?
Apex, what's up, buddy? No one gives a shit anymore. True. The term racist has lost all meaning. It's a meaningless insult now. Actually, the more I think about it, the reason why it lost all meaning, it didn't come to me until like a few weeks ago. Everyone is racist in their own way, but not the way that people think. And it's not even racist. It's prejudice. People are more prejudiced than racist, in my opinion, like secretly judging people before they meet them.
Everybody. Yeah. If it used to be called discrimination, and it used to be a good thing.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'll never forget my one of my buddies when I moved into Queens. I didn't realize it, but one of my work partners lived in the same building as me, and me and him walked around the neighborhood. He's a black guy, and he's like, "Oh, you want to avoid this block?" And just to be a jerk, I'm like, "Why? It's not a good block." I go, "What makes it not good?" Mm-hmm. This block over here with all the Chinese people, this is a good block. Why is this block bad? And he just "You're an asshole." But I'm allowed to live it and avoid it, and by actions, I move around, but you can't say it. You can't vocalize it. You know what I mean? But pattern recognition is racist.
Yeah, being skeptic is how you sometimes, save your life and how you don't get into bad scenarios.
Otherwise, every day we gotta break the egg and learn everything all over again. That's where stereotypes come from. Stereotypes come from a sampling of information. They're not always 100% accurate, but it's just the way it is. Oh, you like this? This, my wife bought me this. It's just,
I like it too.
I work outside all day long and it is freezing. So when I come home, I just want to be overly warm.
It makes you look like Santa Claus, actually.
I love Santa Claus. As a Jew, that's another one of the lies they're talking about me.
Dude, when I first met you and I called you a rabbi, it's finally sunk in. He is
right. It's funny because I told you the story. I was waiting for the bus on I forget the name of the Jewish holiday. I forget the name. Shakor or something. I forget what it is. But they build like a little, I call it a shed, and they go inside and they pray. Well, I got invited to go pray with them. So I'm like, you know what? Just take it in the spirit that it was offered. It was offered in a nice spirit. So I went in to pray, and I didn't know what to pray. So I started doing the Our Father, and they're looking at me. I'm like, I'm not even Jewish. They're like, well, why? I said, you can't pray? Only, and they were nice. But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, because I think everyone is like
Santa
that.
Claus. To finish my thought, I love Santa Claus. I'm the only
Oh,
Jewish
yeah.
person that loves Santa Claus, I guess.
I just think
I'm
a
not
lot of people don't like it when you point out that they're exactly being the thing that they say they're not, because no one will ever convince me they're not skeptic about new people. And yes, if people prove they're not like that, that's fine. But this is how I function in real life, and I've functioned this way forever. I don't just see, that thing on the internet where people keep saying, "Oh, why don't you respect me?" I don't respect random people I don't know.
No, respect is earned. No,
Respect is an earned thing. Yeah,
basic human respect is given out to anybody. Just, you know what I mean? Like, basic human, but like that next level of respect needs to be earned. Like, you know what I mean? I'll hold the door open for you. I never met you before. I hold the door open for you. You know what I mean? Like things like that. You know, like I see you trip and fall in the street. I'll help you up. You know, just whatever. That's basic human respect. But to, like, that the next level. There's got to be another word that I'm not thinking of.
Yeah.
No, that is earned.
The next level is earned. Like, I just don't respect random people I don't know. Also, that would also imply that, I think that they're, I don't know, great people. Like, I don't know where that line of thinking comes from. I've never did that. As you become an adult, you become more weary of people. You just, I don't know, you don't think of, not everyone has their best intentions for you. I don't get why people just think, like, yes.
No, I as a kid, I used to think, like, romanticize the innate goodness of my fellow man, but now I think I think the average person is healthy, selfishly healthy in that, but it's getting worse. Like, I don't know. I respect the average person. I don't trust the average person.
Hi, Zach.
I learned a lot after COVID. Everybody became petty tyrants. Happy birthday, party clowns.
I love this guy. Your boy Zach matters. He doesn't. Actually, he doesn't at all. Isn't that just that's the mega ironies of all ironies?
The funniest thing about your boy Zach is, man, I stumbled upon him like right at the beginning, and it was part of my routine every day. I would come home from work, I would sit in this chair, open up my mail, listen to your boy Zach, and then the whole birthday party clown things. I was just like, okay, all right, you don't like the critical drinker. Okay, I get it. But this is a comic book channel. I don't care about the critical drinker. I don't listen to the critical. It's like tuning into MSK and he's going to talk about, I don't know, some channel that I've never heard of. It's after a while, I'm like, I don't care. So I started to ask people, and like, and then it dawned on me, they made that comic together, and that comic was not that good, and it didn't. So this has got to be personal. I don't want to listen to your personal beef. I just drifted away, and then I'm glad I did, because he seemed to just do a 180.
You know what I said when I first met you, even when I was doing that other podcast, I remember seeing a video of that guy's, and I had lightly skimmed through it back in the day, and I could tell he was like, I want to say I'm just some mega genius for doing this. I could tell he was fake. And a big reason of that is that, how when movements kind of first start and you get these fake people that say, hey, I'm this guy, I'm the only person you should listen to, this is the reason, all these like weird grandiose reasons. And then when that original, and one of the few people that start one of these things is outclassed and outshined by someone else, then they start devolving into attacking the people. I figured he would come like that. It's almost slight predictions I always had. I always got like girls say when guys are weird when they get the ick. I always got the ick around that guy. I never thought that guy was genuine.
I kind of admired him, and it's funny because my wife from day one said, "Oh, you're listening to that gay lispy guy," from day one. But I always thought that he summed up my thoughts very succinctly. So I admired that. I was like, "Oh, this is what I thought," but I wasn't eloquent enough to explain it. He was, so I admired that. But then when I started to see, oh, you got like 3 kids by 3 different women, you don't live with any of them, like it was like strained conversation when he had his son on once, and I was just like, and then you're living with some other guy. I started to be like, I don't know. I guess the ick is a good word, but I started to get a little wary about him. But again, I was like, that's this whole personal stuff. And then I see he's in porno movies. You saw that, right?
Wow. That's what never got. I watched one video of that guy's. He was tearing up books all performatively. I'm like, it just looked. I don't know, dude. You've been alive a lot longer than me. You can tell, like you have someone in a group of friends, maybe like you're at D&D, and it's this person that's always trying to go too hard. They're just trying too hard. I just never got a good feeling from that guy ever.
I don't know.
He said some good things. I agree with you. He said some actually pretty interesting things.
To the point I was really like when I unsubscribed, like, and it really I unsubscribed and I didn't say anything bad about him. I was just like, he's going in a direction I don't like. The other one, same exact thing, was just some guy.
Just some guy. I think I remember who that is. Yeah.
Yeah. I really liked him. He talked about Tolkien. He talked about comics, and he also. I heard about him because your boy Zach referenced him, and they would riff off each other, and like. But when he started defending like cuties and really questionable stuff, I was like, okay, you got one strike, and then he turned just like your boy Zach, like going after Republicans and conservatives. I'm like, so guys, if I ever start attacking my fan base, please direct message me and let me know that I'm being a jerk. I never want to do that,
I attack mine every day. I call them cloud chasing pieces of shit every day. John, student of God. It's a student of God.
Oh, student of God. Thank you. You put a really nice review of my comic on your Twitter. Thank you very much.
John, you had already had that moment. You said CG sucks. CG does suck. Sucks complete ass.
I got to clarify that. I considered myself CG for a long time before most people. I got in on it from your boy Zach. Like I said, I was one of his early insiders, and I criticized the very first falling out happened when EBS said, "Who wants to do a trash cast this Friday?" And I said, "Oh, please." I could think of a million other things I'd rather do than talk about comics that I don't like, and like maybe I got a little uppity, but like I honestly was like, "You're asking, right?" I fell for it. It wasn't. It was basically, I'm doing it anyway, but I'm going to make it look like you want this. So he's like, John, I had enough of you not. And the next thing you know, he's reading DMs and attacking me and lying. He invited me on his channel and he's saying that I begged for his attention. Never happened. And then I met him at that parties where he invited me. It's live on his channel. You can actually see it. Student of God clipped that video and showed it. And then, telling everybody that I pressured him. I came up. The guy was sitting by himself. Nobody wanted to talk to him. I felt bad for him.
Also, I want to clarify if people don't actually follow what Ethan says, because I did for a very long time, because I didn't think it was Ethan. I genuinely thought really wasn't that bad of a guy. I think he was a little overweight. I thought he was overweight and fat and ugly, but
yeah, but I don't want to talk about family members and physical characters.
Yeah. I thought he was a little over. All I said was that you need to lose weight because being that fat, honestly, literally is not good for you guys. That it literally just factually is not good for you.
I met him in person. He's like a black hole. He's so fat that
I thought that was my wife. Huh. So,
anyway, and then he attacked me, and it went on for a while. And I just developed a philosophy: just ignore him. And then, one day I just said, it's not Eric July. Eric July is not harming crowdfunding. Eric July is not harming crowdfunding. I said CG is harming crowdfunding. Let's be realistic. I said between Rob Hunter's defaulting on his campaign, that other guy, I can't remember his name, not Reedy from Fiendish, but another one, Thomas Rene, he has an 8-year outstanding campaign. I said they're just falling out of nowhere. I said unreadable books. Your boy Zach's books are terrible. Godlike was awful. I said, Ethan Van Sciver, your book is 5-6 years late. I said, that's harming crowdfunding. I said, and we need to be better gatekeepers, and we need to keep the bad actors. I was honestly giving helpful criticism, because wasn't this founded because of pros weren't taking fan criticism? So I was speaking as a person who made a comic and as a fan. I was one of the whales. I was buying everything. And boy, did that not react well. That didn't react well. So now I'm a Ripitard, apparently, which is weird because I just read my third Rippa book today.
Yeah. But we'll get into that in a little bit later. But I remember, do you remember when the whole motto of CG that Ethan kept talking about on Twitter was grab an oar? Yeah, right. What it implied was that you're supposed to grab an oar and help someone and promote their book and all that stuff. And then he he for some reason has this big issue with promoting you. I thought he was getting into massive Twitter fights with people in threads over promoting people. It's like, yeah, no, if you're in CG, you're owed promotion. But on stream,
nobody,
like,
no, that's nobody is owed promotion.
That was his stance. Remember, that was his stance. Like, you're
nobody is owed promotion. But I was doing exactly. I was accepting criticism. I was promoting 2 to 3 people a week for 4 years.
I know.
You know what I mean? Nobody promoted more people than me. And I also say this: name somebody who wasn't already a comic book professional, who's still making that Comicsgate promoted, that's still making comics.
Shit, I'm digging my brain. I don't
there
remember, honestly.
Right. You know, Aaron Lopresti, Graham Dolan, like these guys, Billy Tucci, these guys were already pros with followers and 20 years experience. Name somebody that was on and promoted by CG that's still making books today. You know, because Reading's still making books, but she's not CG. Vaughn Coleman's still making books. He's not CG. You know what I mean? Name somebody.
Matt. He's
Matt. You know what I mean? So what? How does it help? Who does it help? I said, Ethan, you're an albatross. You need to clean up your image.
Well, and the thing that he was constantly talking to people about was like, hey, we should be all helping each other and all this other stuff. But then he would talk massive shit about small creators. And I do understand that perspective, because there's a lot of smaller creators in a lot of different communities that I've been a part of that are just some of the worst people ever.
Yes. And I've actually defended Ethan because I've seen it myself.
And I agree with that too. That is actually something I agree with him on. But
people have been coming after me now because and believe I'm trying to say this in the nicest possible way possible, but people will send me direct message of their really terrible comic book. And I really don't want to talk about it for an hour and a half. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, but I got work, I got a life, and now I'm going to go one-on-one and talk about this comic book that is just, it looks like a third grader redrew Naruto or Pokemon. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I really, and then next thing you know, I see on Twitter they're talking bad about me. You know, so I do understand that happens. I do understand that happens.
Yeah, his point about small creators
is a real thing.
Yeah, his point about smaller creators being kind of like weirdly backstabby and jealous, I fully understand that. I've experienced that myself in not just this space, many other spaces. That's understandable. What I draw the line at and get a little like eye-catching at is when you're saying, no, you're supposed to help that person. But by his own admission, he didn't want to help them out because of what they do. Understandable. But I don't know what we're supposed to do anymore. It's like, okay, you're supposed to grab a door and help someone out, but not me. You do that. I don't do that. I think all smaller creators are jealous, petty pieces of shit. And I agree. Some of them are. But by that same logic, then the opposite hand, not all of them are like that either. Like, just say, hey, I only promote books that I think are worthy of my promotion. That's a perfectly fine, understandable thing. And it's fine if you want to gatekeep your own show and be like, hey, I don't want to promote everybody. That's a fine thing. But the motto is grab an oar and help people out. I mean,
Student of God says, hey, the patriarch got bit in the neck. Is that going to carry over to the next issue? I don't want to spoil anything, but I want to say that the subterranean story is not over. You know, so keep backing me, and we'll see what happens.
We'll get to some of these really quickly. John already experienced mob mentality when he critiqued late books in Comicsgate. A lot of people in Comicsgate are attacking and piling on John now just for simple criticism. Yeah, and also I want you to notice this too. Even when people in CG, from even like I'm not even talking about Ethan, when other people's books come out and they get them, do you see them getting reviewed or talked about? You don't, because I told that guy, even when you guys get your books, you don't talk about them or read them. They're probably still unopened. I could almost guarantee all the saving money in my bank account right now, that shit is still unopened, because they know if they reviewed it and talked about it on Twitter and they didn't say good things about it, they would get piled on for their criticism. That's why they don't talk about them. So even when you get the books, you're not going to talk about them anyway. What quality are you talking about? Quality books you can't review because you're scared of what other people might say about you if you give the not a good review.
I'm like a cottage industry attacking me these days. It doesn't matter. It's the Streisand effect. But at the same time, it's like nobody ever says I'm wrong. they call me a Jew. They say I'm broke, whatever, but CG,
but
they never say I'm wrong.
CG accuses John of being broke, but they also call him a Jew. Pick one. I mean, yeah, I've never met a broke Jew in my entire life that kind of own a lot of the banks.
Yeah.
They're not broke. They're actually not broke at all. They're actually quite wealthy people. For ethical or unethical reasons, we won't get into that because I know you guys will hate me for those reasons. When Hack calls you a clown, he's not being a nice guy. Isn't that right, Hack? My God. What if that's really the real your boy Zach and he just put the other name there?
That would be funny.
That would be hilarious.
That would make me like him.
That would be actually hilarious. That's the real guy.
Oh, but that's what I was saying is that I just quietly just stopped watching your boy Zach. Stopped talking, and then all of a sudden I see that he's attacking me.
Hi, Emily.
You know, I was like, where'd that come from? Because I gave what I thought was a valid criticism of the Ballerina, a movie that I actually really enjoyed and bought the DVD of. Yeah,
I agree with this too. Stereotypes are broad generalizations, and the world functions on generalizations. Right. It just does. It would be like, hey, if I said, I don't know, all fruit is bad, most people would go, well, I only like that one fruit. That kind of proves the point. If you only like just apples, then most fruit tastes like crap. I only like bananas, not for the sexual reasons. No homo there. I like those little cutie oranges. Those little ones are actually pretty good. But you know, stereotypes are rooted in truth and reality. I don't care what people say. You actually got a donation. So thank you from Mr. Gladiator Sir for $9.99.
Oh, I thought this was for you. This is.
I'm not monetized. That's yours.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gladiator. Super chats are drawing. Oh, because I'm streaming on both channels, so I didn't bring this up because I thought it was for MSK. I was waiting for him to bring it up. So no offense, Mr. Gladiator, sir. First off, thank you. If it is for me, and if it's for Mr. MSK, that's good too. We'll go
by reparation money.
Yeah, we'll get his reparations. There we go. We got to get him. We got to. What is it? They want $300,000. Can we get $300,000 for MSK by the end of the stream tonight for reparations?
You need a new funding goal.
Because people that were born and died 200 years before he was born were slaves. So he needs reparations. But anyway, super chats are drying up for EBS. Eric July hate business is dying. What will he do without them? He's screwed. He can't draw. The other night during Trashcast, Wiggle said that he only made $79. You know, that's why when you make YouTube your income, you're screwed because this is a I'm ready at a moment's notice for my channel to go down and have to start all over again. You know what I mean? Like I have a job. I was at my job all day long. I'm doing pretty good at my job. Contrary to my 401k has over $1 million in it, contrary to what these guys are saying. I'm doing pretty good. I'm about to pay cash for my house, you know, pay it off because I'm tired of paying the mortgage. Things like that. If your business model is chasing the algorithm, you're screwed. Look at all of these Nick Ricadas and the quartering and all of these guys are lunatics. They're miserable. Their eyes are crazy. What bothers me, and it's a sin. This is a sin. EBS is one of the most talented comic book artists. He really is. He really is. You got to give credit where credit is due. I love his art. His coloring doesn't help. It makes it look like stained glass, and I can't differentiate the 3Ds. What's the foreground? What's the background? He needs Kyle. Tamper down Kyle. Work with somebody like my guy Oscar. You got to get more traditional coloring. There's my criticism. The guy made $400,000. He made like $1 million, whatever in his campaigns. Dude, just draw. You are living the life of Riley. You're living the life of Riley. Just draw. Put out that freaking comic book. It was your childhood passion project. Just do it. I wish I could make $400,000 making my comic book and I could sit down all day long and talk to my artist buddies and write my scripts. Man, you had it. And then you go on YouTube and you chat. Talk about your art techniques. Talk about this. Talk about Star Wars. Now you're talking about Eric July. And nobody cares anymore. Even his own chat. It's bad. And now he's panicking because he's not going to go get a job as a court officer. He's not going to become an electrician. He's not going to. The only thing he knows how to do is draw and do YouTube. Mm-hmm. And YouTube is drying up, and I honestly don't think he could draw anymore. Because if he could draw, he would have. I think he spent all his money, and he can't ship out 11,000 packages.
And this is something that I said when you and Graham Nolan got into that Twitter argument or exchange about like paying someone's bills off and all that shit. Yeah, this is why you don't live off of this. Even if you could, even if you can, you go get a job. Actually, even if you are living off this money, just putting out here. Remember all back in the day, but there was this saying, dude, like keep it on the down low, don't talk about it. Even if you are living on people's money like that, why are you saying it? That's the stupidest thing you could be saying. Is like, hey, I'm giving you this money. It should be for the book, and you're telling me you're living off it.
And I'm going to shows and gambling and going out and doing this and showing like Graham Nolan. I love Graham Nolan. He's a professional. I still get all his stuff. I enjoy his stuff. Great talent. I recommend you buy his stuff. But I disliked what he said. You're funding my lifestyle. No, I'm not. I'm buying a comic book. You can say whatever you want. I know why I'm giving you money. Don't tell me why I'm giving you money. I'm giving you money because I want to buy Monster Island. I'm giving you money because I want to buy Heroic Tales. I'm giving you money because I want to buy whatever crap like. That's why I'm giving you money. You know what I mean? And Rob Hunter was a perfect example. You're a Comicsgate king because you used to work in comics. He was an inker for Marvel. Talented guy. I liked him. He was on my channel. I bought his book, $35 down the toilet. But they told him you were going to make over $100,000 because you're a Comicsgate king. So he quit his job and he started living off the money. Fortunately, the campaign ended at $35,000. He thought he was making $100,000. He started. No, you don't quit your job. And this is what I told Liam Gray. This is what started the whole you broke thing. I said, you don't spend that money until that last package is mailed. You wait a week or two because somebody's going to get returned. Somebody's going to complain that it's damaged.
Chargebacks.
Even this is beyond the chargebacks. Once you put that last one in the mail, you got to wait. You wait. Then you take that money. Whatever's left over, go buy your pinball machine. Go buy a dildo. Go buy whatever you want to buy. But that money is your customer's money until then. And Liam was like, no. And that's why I said I had $8,000 in my Stripe account. And I took out a $25,000 401k loan to buy a car. I was down to $6,000 left. And now, boom, I'm out of work. Broke my neck. And I could think of, I could just pay off this loan right now and I have nothing to worry about. But I didn't because that money was not my money. So I was like, okay, I'm going to let this $6,000 default, pay the tax on that. It's cheaper than paying it off. And that's where I also got the Jew thing because I know how 401ks work. So I was trying to do the smart thing, if you think if $6,000 was my 401k, I got a bridge to sell you. But anyway, so I was out of work for 8 months. So I'm telling CG, I had hardships. I still didn't spend your money because that was your money. And now they're busted my chops because I chose to be responsible with your money. And that's why I'm being attacked.
Yeah, I'm not saying someone can't be a full-time artist. That's not what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
For me personally.
But you're making a $400,000 campaign. You're living the life of Riley. You're telling me you couldn't ship your comic book that you sell them for $35 for a comic book. You couldn't do that for $400,000 or $1 million or whatever you made. You know what I mean? Do it.
And Rob Hunter, the guy you mentioned, specifically stated in his update post where he revealed, I would never say someone's a good guy if they scammed a bunch of people like that. That's just me.
When you saw my channel, I really like.
Right. I know you guys have a different experience with him. I would never call someone a good person if they just scammed a bunch of people like that. But outside of that, he specifically said, remember you read the update too. He said he was told this is what was going to happen. This is how you do it. So wait a minute. That's the worst advice ever. Quit your job, and then people will just constantly fund your crowdfunding campaigns.
Right.
You know how much money you would have to be making on that to live off of that?
Crowdfunder, you don't quit your job. You treat that money as found money. This is my advice to anybody, and I've given this advice. If you're crowdfunding, it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you money. The first time I paid everything out of pocket, and then when that money came in, I used it for this next camp because that's me. Because I'm not a professional I'm a hobbyist, and again, I'm a broken neck broke hobbyist who could still deliver more comic books than 30-year veterans. But what do you want me to say? But that's not yours. Don't touch that money. It's you know what I mean. Don't quit your job. Live your life within your means. That's like another thing at work.
Happy Kwanzaa.
I have a 40-hour work week. Any overtime is gravy. I don't touch it. You know what I mean? That's survive on 35. We normally have a 35-hour week. Now we have a 40-hour. But You got to be fiscally responsible. I don't want to fund your lifestyle. I want to buy a comic book. You know, Stan Lee never came out and said, you're funding my lifestyle by buying Spider-Man.
Because he knows better. You're not supposed to say those things because no one wants to hear that. That's the thing. That's you don't say that stuff.
And you know what? Like I got annoyed at Graham Nolan, but not enough to be like, I hate this guy. Like, I know I'm funding your life. That's your main job right now. But Graham Nolan, like you said, you're funding my lifestyle. No, I'm not. I'm buying a comic book from you. I'm buying. Don't tell me why I'm spending money. But to his credit, he's not on YouTube with a year late book on a cruise.
Yeah, optics matter with that, right?
Right.
Yes, yeah.
Like I said, the appearance of inferiority is. I can never say that word. Improperness. You know, the appearance of improperness is improperness. Don't give anybody any fuel. Don't be going to the casino bragging and, you know, like, and then Shane Davis, like, John's Longbox hates that I bought a pinball machine. I was just like, I don't care. You're one of the guys in Comics Hate that actually fulfilled your stuff. I never said anything bad about him until he got the marching orders and had to attack me, you know. So he got me annoyed. I was just like, well, dude, I never said anything bad about you. I actually liked your stupid cat book.
Regular people like me and you that work, we would go just get a damn.
I still got this. Oh, you can't see. It's beyond Dr. Doom. I still got the Starlight Cat pins over here.
Because regular people like me and you would just go, hey, get a job. Yeah, you would get a job. Like, what the fuck? Like, first of all,
Rob, you opened up a Kickstarter and then you quit your job. How stupid is that? Like, are you married? Do you have kids? My wife would destroy me if I made a move like that. You know what I mean? Open up a kick and then quit your job and be like, whoops, this didn't work.
You wouldn't come home. You know why? You'd be too ashamed.
I would have no place to live.
well, the thing is, by
the way, you know you're gonna be on Trashcast Sunday, right?
Oh hell yeah.
Hi, Katie.
Oh yeah.
Here's another clip for you. You get to buy your meth for the week. There you go.
Shit. I just want to point out, if we do end up on Trashcast, two things are true. 95% of women are trash, and 95% of women are dumb as fuck. Can't wait till I'm just getting called a feminist and a racist. Also, yep, Asian people's eyes are small and they eat dogs. All right, just making sure that, you know, that's on there. You know, make sure we got all the nice ones out of there. And black women stink. They really are disgusting, honestly. But make sure comments.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
People already told me in Comics Gate I was racist. All right, might as well double down on it, you know. And I just want to point out, since there's a lot of women in CG, you guys actually think your opinion matters. What time does a woman's opinion ever matter to a dude? We only tolerate that. It's for sex. That's it. Okay, but outside of that, but I will say, like,
and you wonder why you signal.
It's one of those, you know, like you see a homeless guy on the streets. And it's an able-bodied man, probably like 20, 30. You think in your head, before you give him money, why can't this person do what I'm doing? You're
absolutely wrong. I don't give him money.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is,
if I you know, I homeless people in New York, they always have nicer sneakers than me.
Yeah, and you think in your head, why can't this person do this? I'm going to work every single day, like, all year round, working, barely can pay everything, and this person is just sitting there doing nothing, expecting handouts. Fuck that. Absolutely, completely fuck that. No, and people get mad that they can't go into people are getting mad that when they walk into a supermarket, they can't just go and buy Captain Crunch off the money that I make for them to go do that. Yeah, no. How about you go and get a damn job? Like, I'm sorry. Like, hey, if being a full-time artist is not lucrative enough for you to live off of, get a job. Sorry. Join the real world. You know, sitting and drawing on a piece of paper. Sorry, you're gonna have to.
Nobody's asking me, what do I know about Zoop? I don't. What is Zoop?
What the fuck is that? Is that a dating app?
I don't know anything. About
Gladiator. We make books just like before, and we'll do after they're gone. That's true.
He's right. Arkham, for those of you who don't, Arkham is drawing a story for me right now, and I
awesome.
And I like his art so much. I just asked him if he'll do another story. I'm being mum on the topic.
When do you see? I was told privately by my sources, you and Von Coleman are going to team up eventually. I heard through the grapevine. John, hey John, the patriarch. Okay, you read this one already.
He got bit in the neck. I can't give spoilers, but I will just say it's not the end of the Subterranean. The avatar of the Mushroom God.
some respect is based in healthy caution. Yeah, I'm respectfully making the right decision so I don't get attacked by some crazy black guy on the train. Actually, speaking of trains in New York City, those are terrible for crime. And most of the crime is always committed by blacks or freaking.
It's going to get worse with this new mayor whose job is to destroy men. I mean, he's not even in office yet, and he's appointing a woman who's never been a firewoman and couldn't carry somebody if literally to save their life, but she puts vaginas on her mouth, so therefore she should be the chief of the fire department. You know his next step is going to put in some cop-hating person in chief of police.
Oh God, these people make no. I
started frantically deleting posts. Yeah, he's got no. I don't know. I start deleting all your post stuff like that. That's just an
admission of you're wrong. That just shows people.
I can't think of the correct word that I'm thinking of, but that's just an admission of low character.
Mm-hmm. Like you don't even stand. Like if you're gonna be this way, at least stand by it. At least go, hey,
commit to the bit. I mean, you know what? I mean, I don't even agree with myself half the time. So I be like, yeah, that's what I used to think, and I changed.
You bitch hack is always trying to be relevant.
Yep.
Just some guy fell off hard. He was a huge leftist pretending to be on the right. A lot of these guys are.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these guys are. The way these guys talk, it always sounds like they're like, what's that thing called? A champagne socialist? Always feels like they're a champagne socialist. These people are never truly conservative. None of their lifestyle reflects that. It's weird when Ethan calls himself a conservative. It's like your lifestyle does not reflect that at all. That is just lies. That is a bone-faced lie. Oh no, he's cultivating a fan base that is into insults.
Right, and they don't buy comics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did a 180, John, for views and clips, and also what happened was I met Mint Salad during a video. I got a turn. That's how I got a new CG.
I just hope that you didn't get that penicillin-resistant STD.
Good Lord. Hey, hopefully you guys trust girls now. Just hope they're clean. You guys all trust women. I don't, but you guys do.
There's this thing called getting to know the woman,
Nah, that's overrated. That's 50s, 60s. That's your parents' age. Because I was working back then.
I was there. And I went up to him and I said, hey, that cake has been sitting out here since before I got here in the rain. And he said, yeah, I'm eating it for super chats. And then he literally went and took ziti out of the garbage and ate it for super chats. I was there. That was the night. And go watch that. That was the night he invited me on his channel. I didn't beg. I wasn't even talking to him. I didn't even approach him. And then when I saw him sitting by himself, I felt bad for him.
That's so fucking gross.
At a party. He ruined my night. I was chilling. You don't go sit at a party, chill. Go to your room. It's all,
That is quite literally when being on the internet has straight up ruined someone's brain where they don't know how to socialize at all. Guys, just want to point out, people spit in trash cans. The fact that I would even put my mouth on anything from a trash can, you just don't.
Put his mouth on a urinal, so why not a trash can?
You know what? At that point, I guess they're all interchangeable. I guess it's all interchangeable when you really think about it. So you got blown by a CG hoe, and now you think with your dick. John Malin reminds me of a real-life Eric Cartman. Actually, speaking of John Malin, I do fully agree with Graham Nolan on what he did. So I also point out from everything that's been presented to me as far as the videos go, John Malin does not get to dictate when Graham Nolan opens or closes his campaign. That is by far talk about controlling.
Especially when you're having a monster book and it has something to do with Halloween.
Well, just in general, like, okay.
Right. I'm saying Graham Nolan was absolutely right.
I agree with him.
And then here's another reason why he's absolutely right.
Right. So it would be like if it'd be like if John came up and told me, hey, MSK, I'm kind of mad you went live at the same time I did when I was doing a conversation with someone. I'd be like, what the fuck? Well, it's so cringe. Like, to be like, I'm mad at
Vaughn Coleman and myself were literally going to launch our issue #1 the same Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what? I'll wait another week just out of respect. Let him have his night. You know what I mean? He didn't say anything to me. He didn't. And I told him, I said, I'm going to go live next week because your campaign's going. And he was like, oh, thanks, man. Because whatever, 1 week wasn't going to kill us. So I understand you don't want people stepping on each other's campaigns. You know what I mean? I don't want to launch the same night as one of my friends or something like that because whatever, split the attention. But closing, let me ask, how okay, so Graham Nolan put off his launch another week. How much money did John Malin make that night that he was bitching over? Did he make $10,000? Did he make $4,000? Did he make $4? You know, did it make a hill of beans? Because usually by the end you're petering out anyway.
Yeah, people don't know for.
And you know what, John Malin? Leave it in demand.
You make most of your money from those first few days anyway.
Right.
It's that middle part where you don't really get as many people.
And stop acting like you. I know what happened. You chased away all the whales, so you're crying over. You know, this wouldn't have happened if they were making $160,000 campaigns. Yeah. Now that they're making small campaigns, they count each other's money.
Also, if we're supposed to believe that people in CG Kings have these big audiences, why would it matter if Graham launches or ends the same? Why does it matter? Doesn't John have his own fan base that'll just support him?
Well, I don't know about you, but I have $40. I can buy 2 comic books. You know, like Dan Lawless.
You're a Jew. You can buy all of them.
Right. Dan Lawless was saying that I'm undermining CG by only charging $10 for my comic book. What are we, socialists here?
That's socialist thinking.
Right. First off, Dan, you don't have a campaign, so shut your mouth. You only have a career because you lick somebody else's ball bag, so they hire you. Like nobody outside of CG hires Dan Lawless, and they throw him a bone every once in a while because he's a good useful idiot.
What is that line of thinking?
How does my campaign undermine anybody? You're telling me you guys are so broke that they can't afford another $10?
I love how Dan is the arbiter of deciding what other people can charge for their comic book. Guys, that's quite literally communist socialist thinking. Literally, yes, I know it's just comic book, so it's kind of a stretch there. That's a starting point for them. God damn. Hey, you are undermining the movement, charging $10 for a book. Are you people so broke you can't spend? If you can't spend $10 on a book, you need to get a job. That's when you know you need a job. You can't spend $10 on a book. You're broke. Good Lord, broke bastards around here, man. Also hurts crowdfunding. I don't know, charging $30 plus tax and not shipping them for 5 years. Multiple people do that.
Shut up. I've been saying this for. Shut up and produce. Make your book. And then I got other people who I'm not going to name telling me I'm doing everything wrong. And then when they launched their campaign, it failed. So.
Momo, don't worry. CG gets smaller every year.
Right. I've been saying this for 4 years that CG is about 2,000 active people worldwide.
Yeah.
And they're so big that a guy like me with less than 2,000 subscribers, you know, is you talk about me all the time. And I'm also supposed to believe that Eric July lost 90% of his business. 90% of his business. Dude, the Master Racers had 53 sales on Fund My Comic.
Oh, God.
Fatality.
Good Lord. I also want to point out the fact that now Ethan might be going back to Kickstarter. Remember what he said, word for word? He said, I did the numbers for you. It doesn't make any difference. Do you know how unbelievably retarded that sounds? Why would him doing the numbers for his book have any merit on anyone else's books? Nobody's books makes the same amount of money. That's literally the most illogical thing said. That's so dumb.
I hope Ethan goes on Kickstarter and makes $1 billion because his fans deserve to be bilked out of another campaign that's not going to delete. At this point, I'm like, go for it, buddy. Commit to the bit, you know. Open up a camp. Go to Zoop, Ethan. Make another campaign on Zoop. Get all the money you can out of these CG morons that keep backing you and not getting anything in. You know, Mandy, open up a third printing of Pit before you even deliver the first printing. Go ahead, make a fourth printing. Have John Malin's asshole draw a cover of Pit and sell that. Milk those idiots. Go for it. They deserve it.
Falcon punch.
Just.
Hey,
good
Matt,
Lord,
Matt, I sent you an email.
Matt, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? I hope you're doing good, dude. Hope you had a great holiday season.
That's
like,
awesome.
remember the whole Kofi? So me and Professor Sabishad did a show today, and we actually looked up their Kofi.
Awesome. Also,
we looked up their Kofi accounts. Mandy has 2 top supporters there, and like 8 donations. Ethan has like 5 top supporters and like 5 donate, something like that. It's like, and the logic was, hey, I'll read these on stream. What are these incentives? I don't I don't get it anymore.
You know, because I had a membership, it was $5 a month, and I'm like, what am I going to give you for $5 a month? There's nothing I could do that's worth $5 a month. Just to, you know, I mean, like if you want to join and give me $5 a month because you like me, thank you. I'm not going to say no, thank you, because I'm a Jew and I need every shekel. You know, but like, what do we have to offer? It you know, this is one thing your boy Zach did say, and now that I have a monetized channel and you get a super chat, you're almost just like, ooh, that guy wants something from me. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel right. Like if I'm at work and I'm sitting there, you know, sawing away and, you know, bending pipe or whatever, and then a guy comes up to me and goes, here's $5. It's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, put that money away. That's creepy. You know, but on the internet, here's $5. You know what I mean?
Reviews in this space have always been a problem. I remember when Ethan said you should listen to every criticism, whether it's good or bad. Remember, he even said the most illogical, dumbest thing I've heard in my entire life. He said bad faith is not a real thing. Do you guys know, if you ever went to court and you said that, you would lose your case? Because
I mean, bad faith is such a thing. Like, you know,
like actually the definition of good
here, Matt, if you don't mind, but Ethan used to rave about this guy's art, and now he doesn't like his art. I Saw Him was a great thing. I Saw Him because I was told that it was great. And I was like, I don't want to spend $35 on a newbie comic book. And I bought it because I was told it was great. And now it's not great. It's the worst thing in the world.
If you guys don't actually know what good or bad faith means, just basically, long story short, it's based off of intention. So like an example here, courts, when you're in a court case, they have to determine if the intention of what you're doing is good or bad, because intent matters for when you do something. It always has, right? So when someone tells you these things don't exist, they're a disingenuous, lying piece of garbage. Intent always matters for why you do something. That's why you have basic human instincts, you know? So when we were hearing that bad faith criticism doesn't exist, it's like, what are you talking about? Of course it does. Of course, bad faith exists.
What Matt says over here, when I get super chats, I throw them at the cost of the stream. Yeah, that's exactly it. You know,
that's a good idea. Yeah, you reinvest back so you have to pay it out of your own pocket. That's a good idea. Mikey No More did a great CG expose documentary 2024. Yeah, I remember that one. It was a good video. It was very, very good. He confirmed today that another one is on the way, and both Liam Gray and JDA will be covered extensively along with EVS. I will say this about JDA. I know a lot of you guys don't like him. Me and him have never had any problems with each other. That's all. He never did anything bad to me.
He never did anything bad to me either. We were friendly, and it's all my side, you know, because he posted that. I wrote a 55,000 word novel tonight using AI, and I said, you didn't write it. He goes, oh, John, that's just ignorant. You don't know how AI works. I said, you manipulated prompts, and it spammed out a novel. I said, what's the name of the novel? He goes, I'm not telling you. I use a pseudonym. I said, why do you use a pseudonym? He goes, oh, Mark Twain. I said, yeah, because these people didn't want to be politically persecuted. They were going to get in trouble with the church, or they were going to get in trouble with their family. I said, you're spamming out novels and putting fake names on it, throwing it on Amazon, and then people accidentally buy it because it looks cool because you got an AI generated cover. These people don't know. I said, and then they're never going to buy another novel by Phil Moskowitz. So you come up with another pseudonym, you know, Millie Riz. And now there's another, and a bunch of people buy that, and then they don't like it. And then they get another novel. I said, that's what you're doing. I said, you're being disjust. I said, if you're proud of what you're doing, put your name on it. I said, send me a copy of this novel. I'll read it. No, I said, you're a con artist. I want to have nothing to do with you. Mm-hmm. That's the bottom. That's what happened with me and JDA. Yeah. And I said, and then he was like, oh, somebody said today that I'm not a Christian because I use AI. I said, no. I said, you're not a Christian because you're lying to people and you're scamming people. I said, you're lying right now saying why I said what I said. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer never did anything to me. Yeah, well, there's a difference between Jeffrey Dahmer and JAD. As far as I know, JDA never cannibalized anybody. But yeah, like I get along with some people that some people don't get along with. I don't like people that other people like. At work, every time I go on a job, this guy hates that guy hates this guy, and I'm like,
Same here.
I'm gonna learn all on my own, for good or for bad. I got screwed a few times. I should have listened to Matt a few times, I admit, but Matt told me not to go on Katie Did's channel, and I went anyway.
I knew she was fake. The same thing
I knew she was fake too, but I was like, hey, you gotta promote. You
right.
When Steve Martin goes on David Letterman, you think they're friends?
No,
and he's just
it's all optics. Yeah. It's one of these things where, I want to tell every nerd this: just because a girl shows up in your male-dominated space doesn't mean she's a sweetheart or a good person. Stop falling for that. That's why girls can infiltrate places, because there's no women around.
Yeah. I'll agree with it. Don't simp.
Yeah. Oh, good Lord. But yes, I did like the CG documentary. I'll watch John's videos every once in a while, but me and John, we've never had any actual issues. But that's the problem with Twitter. Like, you'll follow someone, and then one day they'll post something that you won't like, and then it just all of a sudden it has to end over that, and it's like, that's how you know Twitter is like so fake and gay sometimes. But yeah, it's all the cookie crumbles. Yeah, Emilio, what's up, buddy? Yeah, Quartering and Rekieta both grifted hard on the right wing and conservative audiences. Both were exposed as weirdos. Quartering and Rekieta are so fried. I
never heard of Rekieta until all of a sudden I somebody sent me a video of him.
John, what do you know about Zoop? Zoop?
Yeah, Zoop. that he killed the fun of comics. Yeah.
Gambling. Rob Hunter tried living off of the crowdfunders' money. It failed spectacularly. Yeah, that was the worst part. See, I know you guys have all different interactions with this guy, but I will say this: if that happens and someone, because he scammed people out, that's scamming. That's straight up.
Oh, I'm not saying I like him now. I'm saying I liked him when he was on my channel.
Yeah,
But in his defense, he didn't realize he was scamming. He had honest intentions. He thought he was going to make $100 and something thousand. He thought he was going to make this comic. And now I think it's funny, as Katie Did made like a little documentary or a video about absolving CG of Rob Hunter. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you all said he was the greatest thing in the world, and now you're saying he's just a 3D.
That sounds like what a leftist would do when they have these tweets that go, "I disavow this person, and we should all do the same." That's quite.
Right. He's been unpersoned.
Liam spent the money too. Wonder Island 3 is 3 years late. Now he's
Liam. Open up another campaign. Take your fans for $150,000. They deserve it. They deserve it at this point. Good, At this point, I want to see Mandy Summers open up 14 campaigns. I want to see her doing cocaine from a little fingernail. Whoa, love bugs! Whoa! Buying a McMansion, getting boob implants that need wheelbarrows. Do it, because your fans are retarded.
She's white. All their work. She's white. They do meth, and she lives in Alabama. That's like Meth City. Actually, we're the Meth City.
Do it. Katie Did. Wear a low cut shirt, read a comic book, get all the money you can from these idiots.
No. For me, the only thing that I've always said this: before I ever die, which is gonna be a very long time from now, but before I ever do, I would like to have.
Black. You statistically, it's either cholesterol or black on black violence.
So. Right. Statistically, I'm more likely to die from walking outside and getting killed by another black man. That is statistically true.
You should move to a nice white neighborhood. Statistically, black people live longer lives if they live in white neighborhoods.
Well, stats are racist, John. Don't be that way.
And math is white supremacy.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna write a few novels before I pass away. That way, when I pass away, beside my MSK show, people can look and go, "Hey, this guy had some actual collective work. Whether it's good or not, I'm gonna make it good. Try."
Talk to your buddy JDA, find out what prompts to use, and just spam generate one. Why work?
And I'm black, so why work in general, right? I agree. Okay, yeah.
A good title for your book should just be reparations.
I will say this. Okay, I'm not agreeing with the AI, but do you think people care about how the sausage is made, or do they care about buying the sausage when it's already made at the store for them to purchase?
I agree with that. I think that most people aren't going to care as long as the book or the comic book or the movie is good. I just don't think it's going to be any good. If JDA thought his spam generated novels were good, he would put his name on them.
Mm-hmm. Well, he says that leftists will target him and get his.
They do anyway.
Yeah, they're going to do it regardless anyway.
They do it anyway.
Hiding your name isn't going to change anything. Yeah. Oh, what do you say? Please fund my lifestyle. Yeah, John, you need to have a donation goal like those those Twitch streamers do. Fund
Guys,
John's
I
rent.
want to make another comic book. I need $680,000.
No, you're reaching that's too low. We need $1 million.
Do you know any black guys I could call the hard end? And, I'll go to a park someplace.
Just go to Section 8 in New York, anywhere. Now, whether you'll live,
like Evel Knievel, I'll wear pads and everything, and then run.
Now, whether or not you live after you do this is another type of story. But I will say,
I'll live. They're gonna be like, this old white crazy guy ain't going near him.
Just wear blackface. Oh God, MSK loves. I love white women. White women are the best. Now, I think white women also age the worst.
Women.
I think they age the worst. White women and black women age the worst. Asian women, I think, honestly, age the best.
Asian women, they're young and hot. They're young and hot. They're young and hot. Then boom, they're fat grandmas. Like
yeah.
But they'll be young and hot, like in their 50s. Black women, white women. You're gonna tell me like Helen Mirren or Monica Bellucci? These women are in their 60s. Look at what's her name? The one that was with Hugh Grant for a long time. I mean, yeah, these are the exceptions, but yes,
But it's all makeup too, though. Makeup enhances a lot of that too. But no, I agree. Like Ana de Armas, when they said this is what she looks like without makeup, she looks fine. I would still date her. She looks totally fine without makeup. I don't think she doesn't have to wear makeup at all.
Sydney Sweeney, that without her makeup, she looks like the cute girl over at Starbucks with giant excellent boobs. But with her makeup, she looks like a movie star. But then again, every look at all the actors when you it's real funny when you see like a Hollywood male actor at the beach, they look like hell. Like the beach, something about that sun and the salt water, it just makes everybody look awful.
Malin voted for Obama. I think, to be fair, I think a lot of people voted for Obama because they were tricked by the way he spoke. I don't fault people for that. I don't, because Obama tricked a lot of people.
I saw through that guy.
Shane supported Looney Tunes. Yeah, supporting Looney Tunes. I can't get behind that. Don't chase clout. Let Klaus chase you. That's true.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember Zoop. I think someone that I promoted a long time ago used that, and I'm pretty sure there's no audience there because it didn't result in anything. The Comic Cartel. Harper says, John works a real 9-to-5 job and still got my books to me.
Thank you. I take it seriously. Ask my wife. She'll tell you how much stress I was under when I was fulfilling. The first campaign, man, I was a fulfilling machine. I just sat here and it was fun. I did it with a smile on my face because it was new and it was exciting. The second time around, I'm not complaining, but the new and exciting was gone, and I was like stressed out. And also, I think I forgot to hit save, so like a whole page wasn't. So I started shipping out. So about 10 people got duplicates. So if you got duplicates, it's because I was a moron and I forgot to hit save. Keep them, give them to your friends, give them away. CGC one and lock it away and pay your college with it, because that's what comic books are really for, right? They're not about reading; they're about speculating.
I remember when Dan Lawless started going after Chuck Dixon, claiming he owed him money right when Chuck's Horseman book for Rippaverse launched. Good Lord, that guy's a moron. When he said that Yellow Flash was hurting crowdfunding, it's like, what are you talking about? He only launched like one book, and it fulfilled. How would that hurt crowdfunding at all?
Yeah, I got to pick up a copy of Yellow. Yellow Flash was good to me. I don't recall Dan Lawless saying that, but.
Matt Barr, I know MSK. A lot of people know me. I'm the top G around here. John is reading my mind. Got the email. Okay. Don't ask the internet what it wants. Yeah, don't do that. Bruh. Oh, God. Lunch. Warren, what's up, man? How you doing, dude? JDA's a real piece of work. John, props for giving Katie a chance. I think it's fine to give people chances. I'm not saying that. What I'm bringing up specifically is, can people not tell? But I understand why. It's the internet. The internet masks all that. If I was in real life, I could easily tell, even eat over this. I think the internet masks that social interaction, like the body language we would
use. We're distanced away. So much interpersonal is removed. It's easy to fake something. I knew Katie did kind of what she was, but I went on her channel because I got to promote. I don't sell any books if
Yeah, and I told people the same thing here. It's like, hey, you know, there's going to be times where there's only going to be like 1 or 2 people watching. I don't know about your side, but my side, maybe like 5 people watching. That's all good to me, as long as we have a good conversation.
Yeah, well, that's I like all that matters. People, like I said, I started my channel because COVID was driving me crazy. Yeah, I wanted to talk to people. You know,
I just don't like it when you bring on any indie person or another smaller content creator like YouTuber, and they can't hold a conversation. It's like, dude. Like I'm not gonna say do that.
I had a few guys. It was rough. I had a few guys. One of the guys' defenses, he was like, "Please don't be mad at me, but I want to promote my book, but I'm so bad at talking." So I just led him around like a puppy dog. You know, now he's good. Now he's good. But I had a few people that they couldn't have a conversation. As soon as the camera went on, they were just selling mode, and there was nothing. Oh, I was like, okay, so you know. I don't even get a word in edgewise on my own chat. Not that I want to dominate the conversation, but I want to have a conversation.
Wow.
That comment stopped me cold right in the middle of a big tirade.
I'm just pointing out, they live in Alabama. These people are insane. I wouldn't put it past anybody that lives in Alabama to do that. Just pointing out. Centaur romance novels will do great with the LG.
It's funny that you say that because I'm launching a comic book about a woman who's also a horse, but she has a dildo instead of a horn. So there you go. It's gonna go great at Drag Queen out. I'm not doing that. I'm only kidding.
A lot of drama and nonsense over comics. Hate or like Eric July. He has fans. Outsells everyone who talks bad about him, and he was right about people abusing crowdfunding. CG, I don't care either way. Also, to point out, I know like Ethan's talked about Eric losing sales. This is how I know he wasn't business savvy with comic books. In comic book sales, guys, what you try to aim for is having consistent sales. Number ones will always do very good. That's obviously known, but it's going to fall off. But what you try to do is you try to have consistency with each book after that. Yeah, the books are not going to perform as well as the first 3 did. They did $1 million plus. It's never going to happen. It was already lucky to get millions and millions already. That's already. He would be like what top 0.1% of that anyway, if we're going by that logic. So if you're Eric hoping to get like, I don't know, 50K each book, that's fine. 50K for 5 campaigns. Well, that's great.
So hold yourself to the same standard. I mean, we can't judge EVS because he hasn't launched a new comic in a while, but like how many backers? Go by the backer numbers because the prices of these books are artificially inflated. You know, so the number you can't really go by. And Eric July's it doesn't include the postage. You know, when you go to the Ripper channel, so like, you know what I mean? Like, but when you go to Indiegogo, crowdfund, Kickstarter, and Fund.com, that also includes shipping. So those numbers are artificially inflated. They're almost double. You know what I mean? Because if you got a $20 book, you got $10 in shipping, you know, whatever. So, or not double, but maybe a third too much. So just I go by the backer numbers. And the backer numbers is, hey, I sold 500 comics. Graham Nolan sold 600. The only difference is he sold his comics for $40 a piece. I sold mine for $10 a piece. You know what I mean?
And he has to sell his books for $40 a piece because he's making a living off being an artist. So, you know, you don't have to do that because you don't make your living off being in comic books. Which it's funny. It's actually crazy about this mindset. People in the mainstream can't really make this work. Why would people in the indie sphere think they could do that? Outside of like the very rare exception, and even that's a mega rare exception.
Well, I again, CG chased away comic book fans. These people aren't fans. I was told when I started getting into crowdfunding by a master that you get about 10% of your subscriber base. I have 2,000. I have 2,000 subscribers. I have just under 2,000 YouTube subscribers. So by that logic, I should get 200 sales.
I agree.
I did 3 times that my first time, and then 2.5 times that my second time. So I'm doing something right. Mm-hmm. Now, these other guys should be getting at least 3,000 3,000 sales, 1,500, and they're getting 600, 700, 800 sales. And it's only going up, but they're inflating. You notice that the prices of these comics are going up, and they're saying, "Yeah, look, I'm still making 65,000." Yeah, but it's also a 20% increase. Again, this is why the Jewish stereotype came up, because I'm talking about that. But they're raising the prices, and then because of that, the money goes up, and they're also raising the shipping. But like, that's why I look at your backer numbers. Long-winded way of saying that. Look at the number of sales. Eric July is still consistently selling over 1,000 units per whatever. He's selling 1,000 copies. You get 1,000, and oh man, when Indiegogo showed the unique backers, they did not like that. It was the same guys backing 14 times.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up right here. With Indiegogo, if you literally just backed a different tier, they counted that as a different, unique backer. Now that doesn't work that way. If you were to back something, they count that as the same person. So the backer numbers were manipulated. But even with that, even with the weird manipulation tactic of Indiegogo, the numbers still went down of backers, though. It still went down. It was just the hardcore fans were just constantly backing different tiers at the same thing. Most artists are bad at business. Sharing the same exact customer list ain't marketing and selling, and ain't selling yourself and selling yourself either. True. You got to learn to be chatty. That's true. People act differently when on camera. Also true. Yeah. People literally are putting on facades when they're on camera. I mean, I'm not me. I'm just being myself. But, being rich and good looking and successful and charismatic, that's not a, act at all. Every single Rippaverse book is selling at least 100K, and they put out over 25K individual books this year. EVS is bad at business. Even if the books only did like 60K a piece, that's still very good. You would still be doing way better than the average person at this, You don't have to make it. You don't even have to make 100K. You can just be doing like, not just bare minimum, like solid numbers. Not every book is going to be doing $1 million. Also, that's a crazy number too. How many comic books you guys know that have sold $1 million copies outside of like, I don't know, I can really name 3. I know EVS Cyberfrog 2 did. There's that legendary Jim Lee X-Men #1 that sold 1 million copies or whatever.
No, Cyberfrog didn't sell 1 million copies.
No, not 1 million copies. He had like $1 million in the crowdfunding sale. Like I remember one of his campaigns did $1 million or whatever, but that's not 1 million copies of a comic book sold, right? So Eric already made $4 million a year. God damn, that's fucking great.
What I say this, don't what did Judge Judy say? Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. One Ripper comic sells more, and I'm talking backers, because again, the numbers, I don't know how much money Eric is making. I don't know what he's charging his artist or paying his artists or whatever. I don't know his costs or anything, but each one of his books has got more backers than all of Comicsgate. How are you going to tell me that's failing? And you know what? Who gives a flying F? It's none of your goddamn business. Your house is on fire and you're over there telling this guy his stuff isn't up to code. Fix your own house. Fix your own house. Focus,
CG and EVS are about drama and attacking anyone who does well outside of their Mean Girls club. Yeah, and it's so funny how all of them are now having interpersonal drama with each other. John and Anna and Cecil.
That's because the money's drying up. The money's drying up, so they're now you can ignore a lot of stuff when you count in your hundreds, but now you're not. Mm-hmm. The money's not there anymore. Jeez, I mean, in my job, when things get slow and if you get laid off from work, you're out of work for 6 or 7 months, you got to see the backstabbing come out. no, John was late. Why don't you lay him off? Oh, don't lay me off. MSK, he's a shitty electrician. Don't, it gets like that because these guys got 6 kids. They got a boat. They got a house. And they know if they're laid off, but when right now there's full employment, things are great. Everybody's happy as can be. Everybody's getting along. But, next time there's a Democrat in the White House and things turn bad, you get, all the election. And that's what's going on in CG right now.
A lot of Rippaverse people I talked to refuse to buy any Comicsgate books, even from Tucci and Nolan. EVS replaced Eric's fans who actually buy books for Dick Masterson and Vito's audience who hate comics. Also, Dick Masterson doesn't give a flying fuck about what EVS thinks. That guy is a complete, absolute lunatic. Same with Vito, too.
I only know him because of, clips that get shared by student guys. I don't watch that stuff. But Aaron Little Presti had a closeout stream. And Shane Davis and EVS and Aaron Will Presti were closing out Wrath of God 3. They're talking about me. So I messaged Aaron Will Presti. I go, how is this helping you sell books? And he's like, you were sharing your DMs. I said, I wasn't sharing my DMs. I've never done that. I said, tell me where I shared DMs. I said, they're telling you stuff and you're believing them. And they're selling you down the river. I said, people are not buying your books because you're saddled with this albatross. And he goes, don't talk to me anymore. I got sick family members. I said, well, you're not helping your sick family members by hanging out with CG.
That's how someone lost the argument.
And he goes, well, where am I going to go? I go for Ripper. He'll hire you in a heartbeat. He's a great artist. He's a great storyteller. He's the best one in CG.
Even Eric Weathers, who was the Rippaverse letterer, had a guaranteed lettering job for Eric's company because they put out books constantly, so they would need a letterer constantly, and he sacrificed that for EVS, and EVS doesn't need stuff lettered because he doesn't do jack shit with anything.
Is that true? Because I know Ripper hired him for lettering
recently.
No, I'm saying I know Ripper. I know in ISOM.
So the last thing that Eric Weathers lettered, I think, was Rippazine #1. That's the very last thing he got.
Do you know this for a fact? Was he told not to work with Ripper?
No, I don't know, but I just find it weird that after the EVS and Eric,
because this guy's almost putting out books monthly, Ripper.
But I just find it odd that Eric would go for EVS's side because he's still on Comicsgate Kings. But dude, you do know if you're a person with that kind of job, you would tell Ethan, if he doesn't like you working for Eric, fuck off. That's how he makes money. Right. But I don't know what the details are.
I don't know. This is news to me. I don't know if this is true or not. But if it is true, then that is just. I hope this guy's got other jobs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Weather needs to finish his comic book. Yeah, I remember Battlebrook Road 2 took a long time to come out. I have the first book. So
Battlebrook Road, I liked it. I
did like it. Yeah.
I got the first 2. So I'm $70 into a freaking comic book story. And it's going to cost me $140 for a comic book story. Is it worth $140? When you look at it like that, is it worth? Now, my comic is $10. And you can skip an issue. Please don't, but you can skip an issue and you'll still know what's going on. I feel bad charging you $10. But $35 plus $35 plus to tell me a freaking retread of Wizard of Oz. He's a good artist. And I actually like the book. And I told him I liked the book, but $140? Come on, guys, you're killing your audience.
Also, that story needs a better villain too. I read Battlebrook Road like what you did. That villain sucked. He needs better,
and it needs to come out faster. Comic books keep boom, 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 boom. You gotta come out.
That's what I did to my wife last night. Huh.
What's that? Yeah,
that's what I did to my wife. Yeah.
Just like me and Sydney Sweeney. Sorry, honey.
Yeah, I mean, I may have imagined me clapping Sydney Sweeney like that. Just only imagine,
No, for you it would be boom, boom. Thank you, I'm done. Go.
Hey, 8 seconds still gets the job done, right? But no, you said the same thing I was thinking about. It's like, hey, I don't know if Ethan told Eric not to work for Eric anymore.
I don't know either.
But I just find it odd that when all this drama happened, Eric Weathers wasn't the letterer of the Rippaverse. I just find it very convenient. But
Bill Williams is the letterer for my comic books. It is the best lettering. Oh my God, hire this guy. He's great. He's a little grouchy, but that's fine. He does great work.
Also, when people gotta understand, even when you're charging $30 for a book, it's not just 30, it's $40 because you get like charged like $10 shipping, or if you're in another country like Europe, you get charged like 25.
I feel bad when people buy books. I'm charging $30 to ship to Canada. Oh,
insane. Yeah.
And people are still messaging me. I know the mail's bad, but did you mail it? Yeah. Check your tracking. Yeah, it's sitting in a warehouse in Canada. You guys got to get your crap together. My wife is from Canada, and she is the nicest, sweetest person. The individual Canadian people are so nice, but they're simps, and they let their government, walk all over them.
Eric Weathers allegedly leaked info to EVS. I believe it was Ripperson that was leaked. No, he never. I just figure something happened when he's not on lettering the books anymore.
I didn't even think of that because I just didn't think of that, but you might be right.
Eric Weathers definitely had a falling out.
Hey, Renan, you do it?
Hey, Renan, what's up, buddy? Hope you're enjoying your vacation, dude. Or if you're still on vacation. I know you were on vacation or not on vacation, but
I feel bad because he went to New York Comic Con, and he gives me a call. I'm sitting there sleeping in my chair. I'm like, I didn't go. We didn't make any solid plans. Like, I talked to Vaughn. This is definitely like a young person thing. Like old people like me, like I'll meet you at the diner 416 on Tuesday, and we're all there. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, we'll make plans to make plans. We'll make plans to make plans. And then I was like, well, I guess we don't have plans. So I just didn't go. Now I feel bad. He calls me. Like, I'm waiting for you. I'm like,
he does the same thing my ex-girlfriend does. She'll all of a sudden.
Not he. I'm seeing all of these guys. It wasn't just Ronaldo. It was everybody I talked to. They're all in their 20s and 30s, and I'm like, give the old man a time and a place. That's why I'll meet you. That's what we need to do. Back in my generation,
not at a pizza parlor. Not there. If you say pizza parlor,
pizza.
Not 100% on the info. Okay, but that's what I've heard. Also, EVS did brag during his early trash cast of having an inside man. That is true.
Oh, so he probably got the boot. Eric was probably like, get the hell out of here then.
And who else would it be? Because Eric Weathers is directly tied to EVS and everything.
Oh, okay.
That's
I don't know if it's true, but it
makes perfect sense. Yeah, $10.
It's heartbreak. Yeah, thank you. I know. You see, I kind of remember everybody that backed my books. I remember sending the book to you, so thank you. Yes, my book is $10 and in comic and in color. Does Jimmy Reyes know? I didn't back Jimmy Reyes' book, so I can't comment on it. But all I know is that's just another example of CG causing crowdfunded. People told me, dude, I like you and your book looks good, but I'm not going to back until the book is actually out. And I'm like, can't argue with that. Can't argue with that. Because I do the same thing with certain people. But that also hurts me because, if I don't reach certain goals, you know what I mean? But, Oh,
because I wanted to ask you something about, speaking of comic books, is you do like comic books, apparently, even though they are for smelly, fat nerds out there who don't shower. But thinking about, okay, so.
I showered this month.
At some point. Dude. Marvel's Marvel is still badly mapping X-Men still to this day. It's for some reason they just can't map X-Men under any circumstance possible.
What do you mean by that? Is that some young terminology?
Though it's just double dipping. The books are always double dipping. Key tie-in issues are missing. Like even for like the Epic collections that are reprinted stuff from the very beginning of a character. Volumes are missing and stuff like that. So I have been trying to get all this stuff in order so I can read it. Just even if you try doing Masterworks, that costs a lot because out of print stuff like that. Marvel, these companies need to reprint their stuff more effectively. I don't get why. I agree. Chris Claremont's X-Men run in omnibus format should not be out of print. That should always be in print.
They should make like phone book sized news.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm.
Soft cover, readable copies.
Compendiums. DC does compendiums now. They could do a compendium of Chris Claremont's X-Men run. I will buy that today. Right now, I'll buy it.
It's so good. I'm doing that on Sundays. Sunday comics.
He did the Extinction event agenda in that run, didn't he? Or Mutant Massacre?
I'm not up to it yet. I started at Giant Size X-Men #1.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not even up to the Phoenix Saga yet. So I think next week is 118. So yeah, it's just beautiful, beautiful Chris Claremont, John Byrne, Terry Austin artwork. It's so much fun. It's my favorite thing that I do on YouTube. Sundays, 10 Eastern Standard Time. Come check it out. And when I'm done, I want to do the George Perez Avengers run, starting with 150 to 200. Some of the best comics you'll ever meet. Thank you, Renowned.
Yeah, I mean, Image does compendiums to Spawn. I don't know why Marvel hasn't did compendiums yet. Compendiums are amazing.
Go into a comic book store should always have like Walt Simonson's Thors, the John Byrne Fantastic Four, the Chris Claremont X-Men. Just in a phone book sized, cheap paper. Let people read them comic books. You know.
Mm-hmm. They have it for Marvel Premiere, like Marvel Premiere collections. They tried pricing those at like what, $15. So like DC did their compact books, they're like taller than manga size, $10, 12 MSR, 12 attacks. Marvel charged $15 for theirs. It's like you're pricing yourself. People keep saying comic books aren't affordable, and you're charging $15 for this. You're gonna sell the same, maybe more if it's $10. If you start pricing yourself out of the market, then people are gonna be like, I don't know, man. And keep in mind, what are you more likely to buy? Something worth $10 or something worth $15?
Yeah.
Pretty sure the $10 option is always going to be chosen more because a little bit less of money investment is going to make that decision for a lot of people. Marvel, like all of Hollywood, hates the masculine stuff that got them there. All the green-haired septum rings, tear down everything. But the thing is, they don't even I just would hope if they reprint this stuff soon. Like, dude, have you tried looking up Chris Claremont's first X-Men omnibus? How much money that's like $200 because it's out of print.
Oh, really? The omnibus, the collection of it?
Oh, the collection. Whew, you're gonna need a lot more money for that. But just the first omnibus, I was looking at it to buy it. It's gonna be at least
comics.
Solid
They taught me that omnibus just means 4-issue trade paperback.
Kill me now. Oh God, kill me now. Yeah, I mean, X-Men. Fucking hell. Be giant size X-Men #1 Omni. Yeah, I was looking at buying it not too long ago. I'm gonna have to wait till I get my fucking taxes to start doing that. This is gonna be one of those books where I buy like every once in a while.
Taxes. There's Somalian scammers that need your money.
Okay. Let's see. I'll share my screen right now. This is not video. It's not video. Don't worry about that. This is just eBay. Let me share my screen right now. Yes. Now, this is just from one seller. This is just from one person. It could always be different for other people, but yeah. Still in the shrink wrap, still sealed, but yeah. It's out of print. That's what people can charge that much for it. Why can't this be, I don't know, reprinted? I hate it. You try to get volume 2, that's going to cost quite a bit of money. Like, you come here, let's go, buy it now, US only. You can get Marvel Masterworks too, guys. But you know what? Marvel Masterworks has been discontinued because apparently it's not officially canceled. They said it was it was on indefinite hiatus. That's what they said it was. Indefinite hiatus. So yeah, if you want to get Chris Claremont's X-Men run starting with giant size X-Men #1, cheapest is like $80. That's the Marvel Masterworks in a format that is not continued anymore. So,
oh wow, I went on eBay and Heroic Tales is on eBay for the first time. My comic.
Really?
Yeah, the Michael T. Gilbert cover. The guy says it's a 9.4.
Someone graded it? What the hell? That's awesome.
Yep. That's funny.
Oh my!
I'll see how much he gets. Maybe it'll be worth it of me putting comics on eBay.
Hey,
I got him right here, guys.
I would say this: you might be able to attract another audience selling Heroic Tales on eBay. That's something you could do. That wouldn't be a bad idea at all. Just open up, not like a huge storefront like what EVS has, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to list like 3 copies of Heroic Tales #1 and see if it sells.
Yeah, I was gonna wait. Now that I'm done with fulfilling, I was gonna try that out to see it.
Unless you want to end up like Vaughn.
eBay is the worst though. Dealing with eBay is the absolute worst.
That's why I would never get into that shit.
Yeah. Back to Marvel. If they knew how to is my camera getting out of focus?
Oh no, dude, they would be out of print regardless. These people are horrible. That's an actual separate thing. They just bad at reprinting all that shit in
They're
general.
just bad at business, Marvel.
Yeah.
My camera's
Ask Jim
out of
Shooter
focus.
that.
I'm gonna turn off my camera and restart it again. It's just out of focus.
You look good to me.
Okay, maybe it's me. Maybe my eyes are out of focus.
Maybe I'm just old and black. Who knows? But Marvel here. Marvel. Oh God, Marvel Premiere Collection. Before we head out of here in a little bit, because I got to go visit a girl after this.
Does she really exist?
No.
Okay.
Oh God.
Is the girl your mom?
No, she's not alive. She's been alive for years.
For real? Your mom's died? Your mom died?
She passed away in 2015. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear it.
Gone for years. I also went holidays. Fuck holidays. So right here, this is what a Marvel Premiere Collection looks like. That's what it looks like. It's a book where basically it looks like that. They look like.
Okay.
They charge $15 for those. Now, there's not a lot of them released currently, but they led off with Ta-Nehisi Coates' Black Panther run, and Daredevil Born Again, and the Winter Soldier story. Yeah, those are the three they led off with. Then John
Ta-Nehisi Black Panther is one of the runs that got me to quit Marvel.
That was the leading book for that collection.
That was the first, because I was reading it, and I mean, if I remember correctly, it was John Romita Jr. doing the art, which he's hit or miss for me, but I like him. He's a good guy. But it was just the disregard for continuity that was just driving me. I'm like, who is this? Because he's the definition of a tourist. Everybody throws there's words that just like right now, words that drive me crazy are slop. Everybody's saying slop, everybody's saying grifter, everybody's saying tourist. But Ta-Nehisi Coates is a tourist. He just came in, wrote a couple stories and then left. He had no intentions of staying. He just wanted to lift his leg and pee on the fire hydrant, leave his scent and leave. He didn't know the ins and outs of Marvel continuity, and it showed in that Black Panther run. And it didn't even get like identity politics yet. I heard it got that way after I left, especially with his Captain America run. But I was just like, if Black Panther is created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, and then I think he was always a good character, but then when Christopher Priest pretty much cemented him, and now this guy's coming and disregarding two giants, Christopher Priest and Jack Kirby. I was like, I can't deal with. How dare you?
Recommend people read Christopher Priest's Black Panther run.
Yeah, I liked it. Christopher Priest, I will admit that I think he did a little proto identity politics, but he's a good enough writer that he got away with it. I mean, Stan Lee did a little bit of identity politics too, but it's a good run. It's a good, everything that you know about the Black Panther, even more so, I hate to say this, but it's from Christopher Priest over Jack Kirby. I mean, Jack Kirby's Black Panther was, you read that 14-issue run in the 70s, it's just time travel insanity and Black Panthers running around yelling and screaming and treasure hunting and stuff. But
so yeah, I can't scroll up because that will show my address. But this is the Marvel Premiere Collection, and these are the 3 books they started it out with. Most people I talk to do not like this run. I don't know why that would be.
That bothered me. The Wakandans, like 10,000 years in the past, colonized other planets, stuff like that. It's like, knock it off.
Like Born Again is legendary.
Oh, that's awesome. That's one of the best comic book runs of all time.
Ed Brubaker's Winter Soldier story, that's really good. Run. A lot of people like Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four run.
Yeah, I like that one. It's one of the better Fantastic Four.
Civil War's in there. Good.
I hate to say it, as much as I like Mark Miller, I didn't like Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Once you and your best friends are punching each other in the streets and trying to kill each other, you're not friends anymore. Iron Man and Captain America shouldn't be on the same. You know what I mean? MSK, me and you get into a fist fight in the street. We're trying to kill each other over ideologies, and then like 3 years later, we're just sitting around Avengers Mansion playing cards.
Hell yeah, that's what men do.
You got to think. You got to think like, how is this affecting continuity for all time?
Yeah, Wolverine. I mean, Old Man Logan.
Old Man Logan, I like.
Yeah, you have the Matt Fraction run on Hawkeye. I think that's the time you were dipping out. I think I remember
this. I got most of this run. This is erectile dysfunction.
Huh.
Hawkeye is a guy who joins a team with billionaire geniuses, gods like Hercules and Thor, and robots like the Vision, and you know what I mean, and emperors like the Black Panther, and all he does is shoot a bow and arrow. This is the cockiest, cocksure, arrogant MFer that ever existed. And then, you know what I mean? He's Mr. Swag. You know, he should be called Swag Guy, you know, Hawk Swag. And he's picking up chicks. He you know, he's mounted off to Captain America. He's mounted off to this guy. He's mounted off to Kang. And then this run is just sitting there like, I live in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and I don't have enough money for pizza. And I'm like, so, you know, it's just, and he's drawn with wet noodle arms. Like, this was a jacked guy. There was a great story where he was teamed up with Spider-Man, and he had to shoot an arrow and disarm a device. And he's telling Spider-Man, fight Doctor, I got this. And he shoots it, and he says, what do you mean? How are you gonna, you can't even see it? And he goes, I train every day. He goes, I'm not a billionaire. I don't have super soldiers. And he gives this big, like, he goes, you don't understand. All I am is a guy with a bow and arrow, and I have to pull my own weight on the Avengers. I have to hit this. And he shoots, and Spider-Man follows the arrow and guides it so that it hits. You know what I mean? Because this is a guy that, like, I have to succeed. Otherwise, what good am I? And then he's this guy just like, yeah, I'm hanging out with Pizza Dog. You know, I'm going to go down to Starbucks. It was just erectile dysfunction Hawkeye.
Then the next one coming out is Punisher Will Come Back.
That is awesome. That is
Garth
awesome.
Ennis. This stuff is, I'm pretty sure this stuff is even out of print too. So them reprinting this one is good. It's actually very good.
Awesome one.
Then I think the next one is going to be a Miles Morales book or something like. Oh yeah, it's going to be the Miles Morales introduction book. That's going to be the next one.
Oh, Spider Scab.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Well, I call them Spider Scab because they made Miles Morales because the Ditko estate was threatening to sue to get Spider-Man rights back. So they purposely made Parker an idiot and then made Miles Morales so that you get this character that we purposely destroyed, and now we get to keep this. So, you know, and all of the liberals are like, oh wow, you know, we love creator rights, and they all champion the Scab character that was created to F over creator rights.
So the next book coming out is Planet Hulk. That's coming out in May.
Planet Hulk is great, but it should have been the last Hulk story.
Spider-Man Worlds Collide. That's
Hulk was smashing and knocking down buildings in Manhattan. Like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm a construction worker in Manhattan. Every one of those buildings, unless it's Christmas on Die Hard, they're filled with workers. There's elevator guys, there's sanitation guys, there's Hispanic cleaning ladies, there's operating engineers in those buildings, even on a Sunday. When Hulk was smashing and knocking down skyscrapers, he killed more people than Bin Laden. He killed more people than Mr. Hyde, and he's a villain. Everybody agrees that he's a villain. So Hulk can't come back from Planet Hulk. You know,
yeah.
How do you absolve that?
And it's Punisher. Is it a definitive Punisher?
Yep.
Yes. Last few things I'll actually make before we head out, and I know it's cold for you down there. So first thing is, do you have anything planned coming up that you would like to let the audience know about?
Yeah, Heroic Tales 2 is still available on Fund My Comic. The link is in the first comment. So you can still get that. I will be starting a merchandise campaign, and that's going to be open in perpetuity for, you know, it's just always going to, I'm going to throw everything in there. That's going to be on Fund My Comic. Patriarch #1 will be my next campaign. Renzo is about a third of the way through with it already. We're chugging through. Eddie is Doomed is I'm hoping to come out next year. And I have a comic in Giant Size Punchline. I have a story in Giant Size Punchline probably this summer, 12-page story. It's so good. And I said, Matt a story. I got a bunch of people working with me. Next year, I'm hoping to have like 4 comics. I'm working on a Christmas story with King Fu that maybe we could get out in time for Christmas next year. You know, a short, like half-size comic. So there you go.
Hell yeah.
I'm busting my chops, guys. Broken neck hobbyist me is delivering 80 pages of comics in 1 year.
And on less crowdfunding money than the people that get apparently thousands.
Guys, can you fund my lifestyle, please?
You need the thing on your stream now. Fund John's rent.
Right. Fund my lifestyle. I want to get a light back here that says Long Box Comics. So I'm going to start a Ko-fi for you guys. So you know.
You could open an OnlyFans for that.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord, what's next?
Only fats. Only fats. It'll just be me eating cake.
Oh God, what's next for Ethan? Opening up an OnlyFans? That would be just a disaster. That's when you know you hit low.
No, he threatens to give me money or I will open up an OnlyFans.
Oh God. So last thing I'll ask you, man, is do you have any shout outs you want to give to anyone in particular and anything else you want to say before you head out?
Oh, well, Zach Ted's asking comic book team up. Yeah, Red RJ for the Fourth Age and I will be back to do a comic book team. It's just that the last 2 Wednesdays it was Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So but we'll be back to doing that. I enjoy doing that. That's usually Wednesdays. The bad news is I'm back on this 3 to 11 shift starting Monday. So who knows how long. So comic book team up will be at midnight. It's clobbering time will be at midnight. So I'm sorry, guys, but when the job tells you to do stuff, you do it because that's the way it is. Work, you got to do stuff for work, like actually do it, show up, put in the time, deliver the comics, bend the pipe, install the electrical devices, whatever you're doing, commit to the bit and actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
John, Black Eric July, start drama with other CGI. I don't mean to start drama. I told myself I was going to be done starting. That's my New Year's resolution, not even to talk about CG, because I think the worst possible thing you could do is not talk about CG. Don't give them anything because all it is a reaction. It's CG is, I call it comics grave. It's where old has-beens go to die. That's where their careers go to die. But if you don't talk about it, they can't react to you. What are they going to clip me talking about my comic book? You know what I mean? Nobody. So my New Year's resolution is this is, the last time, maybe tomorrow night, but I'm not talking about it anymore. Don't give them any source of revenue. Just starve them. Don't talk about it. Don't react to them. Don't tweet to them. Nothing. Just let them, let them rise on their own merits.
Yeah, and glad you're going to be doing that.
Have me write a Rippaverse comic, guys. Somebody reached out and asked me if I would be interested in writing one of their characters, and I said yes because I'm not stupid, and it's not Rippaverse, so don't start your rumors. It's one of my small independent guys, but I'm freaking out about it. It's one thing to mess up my characters. You know what I mean? I can mess up my characters, and I can always say I meant to do that in my character. But your characters, oh my God, I don't know. You would have to give me a lot of background information. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to mess up your stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it was great to have you on for.
Somebody asked you, and I didn't hear. Are you seriously? Are you planning to do a comic or a book or anything?
No. Book eventually when I get the time, but right now I'm way too busy for that. But I do want to do it at least before I die. So
that's just it. You could, you could die tomorrow, right? Start writing your book.
Crap. I need reparations for that. I need money. I need you guys to fund my lifestyle. Like hot women don't fund themselves. How am I gonna go to dinner?
I'll give you. Here's your first line for your book. Yo G. There you go. First line.
So it was great having John on for his 5th appearance again. Hopefully he doesn't go to a Section 8 part of New York ever because he might die. Statistically, Black people are very, very dangerous. But yeah, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK